what if you could make $300 per day while trading without guessing and as well without gambling? I want to show you something real quick. Just by opening up my trading journal, we have $300 in terms of the average winning trade. You can simply see right here is what on a day-to-day basis looks like for me. Some days we could be able to see 500, some days 520, some days 250, and also 1.7, but those are just average in terms of some winning day trades. But what if you can learn the exact same strategy that I use in order to be able to make $300 per day in the markets, and at the same time be able to apply it the exact same way? In this video, what I want to do is that I want to walk you guys through the strategy, where we are going to be looking at the ins and outs of it, and at the same time how the strategy can help you be able to just trade successfully. But just before we get started into this topic, I want you to understand that this is for educational purposes. It should not be used as financial advice, but let's get straight to it. So now I'm quickly going to break down the strategy looking at the Euro USD chart, because I want you to understand that this strategy, it works on all currencies and at the same time on all indexes. As long as you're looking at the charts, there's a high chance that this strategy can work. So the first thing that we are going to be looking at is the daily time frame, where we are seeing what price is doing. Is it forming lows or highs? And so far with this, I can see what price has done. Price is forming lower low here, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and so on, up until price came to this area whereby it started giving us a higher low. It couldn't break this low, and then price tried to break the highs. It didn't really break too clear when couldn't break this low, and then eventually it broke these highs. So now the first thing that we understand is that we are in an upward trend. So that's the first thing that you're gonna start looking into. So what we're gonna do now is that we're gonna head over to the 4-hour chart, and then we're gonna be looking at how to take advantage of the 4-hour chart. So with this 4-hour chart, you can simply see right here is where price was the previous lower high, which price broke above here impulsively, and this is where our next lower high is. And the way I spotted it, you can see it's very clear, it's very obvious. Lower lows, lower high, lower lows, lower high, and price went so on. But right now you can simply see that this is where price broke, which means that eventually this could either be a support and the price goes back up, but eventually we're coming all the way up to these resistant areas right here. So with the 4-hour, I'm able to spot that price is still in an upward trend, but at the same time I'm looking for momentum to be able to just guide me into which areas are we going to. And with the looks of it, this is where our previous resistance was, which means that now price is more likely to test around those areas. So now we are going to be moving to the 60-minute time frame, where we would be able to just spot which areas are we most likely to execute. But not only just that, what are we looking for in terms of our execution methods? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the 60-minute time frame, and right here on the 60-minute time frame, what we have is I can see this is the clear upward trend, because mind you guys, regardless of whatever position you're in, you should not look for the opposite, meaning that if you are seeing a sell, it's only a short-term trade, which means that it's not likely to play out in the longer term run. So rather focus more on where the market is going, which is looking for buys only. So right now I can see that this is an area. So now the first thing after drawing these trend lines is we drew a trend line that represents the upward trend, but at the same time want to spot the multi touches, which means that here we've got our first touch, here we've got our second touch. So now we are looking for third touches, and here we can simply see the price gave us a third touch. And one thing that I like is that once we've got our third touches, so on the daily it was more of a uptrend. Daily it was more of a uptrend. For hour we looked at the significant areas, which is take profits and so on. So now on the 1 hour we're looking for multi-touch confirmations plus candle confirmation, and then I'm gonna go to as low as the 50 minutes to show you how you can refine your entries. I'll just quickly show you guys, because this is actually one of the trades that we spotted. I'll also share with you how we saw it. But yes, this is first touch here, second touch, and then third touch here, and at the same time you can see this engulfing candle. So this engulfing candle basically represents that once price got here, it started showing that there's a lot of buying power. But then what we do is that after we've got all these confirmations, we drop to as low as the 15-minute time frame, and we are able to look for an order block right at the 15-minute. So how we go about looking for that order block, I'm just going to remove this because this was drawn from the 60-minute. How we go about looking for that order block, because that is what will guide us to be able to enter. So normally what we do is that you can see already within structures right here, we've got a pattern that has been printed on its own. But it's not just that. The most important thing is within structures, price always moves within structure. So right here I can see price gave us a low, a lower high, and a lower low, and then with that 60-minute breakout, this is more of a break right here. If you're looking at it, it's more of a change of character because this was the previous lower high, but now it broke. And then we wait for price to come back all the way down to the previous bearish candle before that break happened. So this is the bearish candle that pushed price upwards, and then basically we just target this bearish area from the start all the way to the bottom, and then this is basically going to be our entry. So if I can just refine it to see properly if I drew it well, yes, we take it literally from where the bearish candle started all the way up to where it ended. So more like this is then we're looking for price to retest this area. So you can see the first entry would have been here and stop loss just below here. It even allows us to have a 16.7 pip and then take profit all the way up to here, which is the first take profit, second take profit, which is here, and overall take profit is now using that for our touches. Let's say for instance this happened, this was way too impulsive for us, so we couldn't catch that, so we waited for price to go much more easy and much more better. And you can see as soon as price tested here, it touched it, and then price started going a bit more upwards. But then other people might want to play it safe and then wait for more confirmation once price gets here, which is okay. That is more of a reduced risk entry. So the other thing that you can do on the 15 minutes is to wait for a candlestick confirmation, because what that does is that it'll also give you more faith into what's more likely to happen. So on the 15 minutes, I just want to update this real quick. On the 15 minutes, you can see 15 minutes, we basically wait for a change of character, and then we execute once we see that retest on the order block. One of the advantages of using such strategies is that it allows you to have a very tight and small stop loss. You can see our stop loss here was 15.5 pips. Our targets were high, which is 111 pips, but at the same time you can see the risk to reward here is 1:7, which is much more amazing. So if you're questioning yourself and you're asking yourself if this strategy really does work, you can see this is the trade that I shared yesterday. So this is one of the trades that I was looking at yesterday around 6, and then it was on Euro USD 15 minutes, and I mentioned that price is more likely to come retest and then go all the way back upwards, then do something more like this and then goes up. And then looking at it, price did come down, and then after it came down, boom, and then it done that thing here that touches, it went down, and then it continued to go all the way upwards. And you are probably asking yourself, where exactly was this trade shared? This is in our VIP group, whereby all trades that I do take, I happen to just share it out there with members that are learning on the face of learning and becoming profitable traders. If you also want access to it, just check out the very first link that is in the description. But this is the strategy that you can implement today in order of you to be able to at least make $300 a day from the markets. And imagine now that you've got a strategy that works. Once you start getting funded capital, how far would you be gone with just this strategy? But there you have it, guys. It is your boy Liswa Mutupi. If you happened to have found value from this video, make sure that you like and as well subscribe. I will see you on the next YouTube video.